Good morning and Happy New Year's Eve. It's a great Tuesday here on Cincy Lifestyle. Happy New Year's Eve, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
What a year.
I know.
2020.
You know what the best part of what the best thing was in 2019 for me?
What was it?
Working with you two.
Oh.
Wait, all right, cut the show. We're done. End it. That's it.
We didn't get to a kiss, Clyde. Wow.
Oh, well, I take that back.
We need to leave this on a high note.
I know.
Yeah, best moments.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you have a best moment, Mona?
I really just love coming to the people every day.
I've already done that. You got to come up with something new.
Okay.
Come to the people.
Coming
You know
to the
what?
people.
So
I love being with my family, and we've had some special family time this year, and I'm really thrilled about it.
All right.
Definitely the
That
show.
works.
Oh, one other thing. I cleaned out my garage. I didn't wait for a New Year resolution. I just cleaned out my garage.
Moving on. Let's talk about
Well,
resolutions.
since she talked, right, exactly. Do you have one?
Yeah, actually, I feel like I have a couple. Last year, I know we talked about resolutions a little bit. Health and wellness is always on everybody's radar, but I felt like I actually took some steps this year, so I'm happy about that, and I want to keep that up. And I have a lot of creative resolutions that I want to accomplish, and really trying to collaborate more creatively with other folks in the community, and also just being able to produce good and fun content for the show.
Yeah.
that people enjoy.
What you do well. Extremely well. How about you?
You know what? I don't really do resolutions because I don't have the patience. I'm like, oh, I need to change this, and I just change it. So, but like you said,
go-getter you.
eating right, eating healthier has been my resolution of life for a long time.
Okay.
So I'm excited about what new things, new food we can bring on this show that I can eat.
If you have ideas.
More healthy.
Well, like you, I tend not to make a specific resolution. I tend to make them more generic. There are things I want to be better at doing than I was last year. So that's generally what I do. It sounds non-committal, non-specific, and therefore I can't cheat on it. But
It's
no,
all
seriously.
lifestyle.
It's
And you can't fail.
See, the more Cincy Lifestyle.
Cincy, that's it. So right quick, let's take a look at what happens when most folks make New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
Because Inc. magazine talked about some of the things that people tend to resolve. Number one,
Surprise.
diet or eat healthier, 71%. Number two, exercise more, 65%. Lose weight, 54%.
There's a theme happening here.
Save more and spend less, 32%. Al Riddick, where are you? Learn a new skill or hobby, 26%. Quit smoking, Allie, 21%.
Just because I have a raspy voice, I do not smoke, people.
Read more, find another job, drink less, that sort of stuff. Now, here's what's interesting. About 2/3 of people who make a resolution kill it before the end of January.
So
They
there's
blow
no
it.
way that you're going to say stick with it, because that's
Yeah.
a high percentage.
Yeah, so
It can be hard.
Very cool.
anyway, it's a wonderful thing to do, though. It's called aspiration.
It is.
Goal setting.
Well, you know, here at Cincy Lifestyle, we strive for thorough professionalism in order to provide you the best viewing experience possible,
We
right?
sure do, every day.
But there are those moments when our professionalism utterly fails, and then the show gets really funny. Here are just a few of our bloopers. Are you, like Mona, ready for retirement? Happening today. Oh, okay, I guess we better not. 3, 2.
Back with more of the ladies' edition of the Cincy Lifestyle right after the break. Plus, you can watch full episodes of Cincy Lifestyle on YouTube. Catch all the favorite moments or discover one.
So there are some aspects to your bathroom styling and design that actually help to make people help
Themselves. We both need help.
Here we go. I just fall, right?
Yep, just let go.
Fall.
Okay, so you're gonna swing out just a little bit, right? We're gonna what?
Pull My Finger jokes, happening today at 10 on Cincy Lifestyle. We'll take a look at this underappreciated form of humor in American life and show you a few examples of what you can do should you decide to invest in Pull My Finger jokes. That story and a whole lot more, happening today at 10 on Cincy Lifestyle.
All right, Wiggle Wags, are you ready? All right. Luckily, You can share those family moments at the Holiday Auto Theater. Sorry.
Join me for what? Did you just have a stroke or something? This Tuesday.
Man, you can dress me up, but you can't take me out. Save it for later.
Breaking wind coming. Oops, sorry. This is the wrong one. That was the wrong breaking. Can we go again, Peter?
Oh, I don't like clowns.
No, I don't like clowns. I don't like clowns. Come on, let's go play.
You know, the most entertaining people on this show are in the
They're in the control room.
Yeah,
Right.
we are.
It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
We out. Oh my. I can't. How do we move on from that?
Did you notice there seemed to be a theme there?
Yeah, breaking wind. You really committed to that, and I appreciate that so much.
Because I work in our office.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we're gonna move on from that one.
Please.
Well, if you're a sports fan and also have a passion for art, this next story may be of interest to you. We went behind the scenes of Ink and Craft to find out how one man is creating bold and contemporary prints with a competitive flair. Take a look.
Printmaking is not an easy art. I have come to find out.
Matthew Broerman is a graphic designer and lino-cut printmaker in Loveland, Ohio. He grew up in a small northern Midwest town, but always knew he wanted to pursue a career in art. He followed his passion to the University of Cincinnati's DAP program and worked his way up through the graphic design industry. And it wasn't until recent when Matthew had the urge to pick up a new medium and start Ink and Craft, printmaking with a style he likes to describe as
Probably Art Deco. It's definitely abstract. I like to play around with shapes and how foreground and background interact with one another. I like putting things together in interesting ways. I've had people at art shows come up and say, I didn't see this at first, but now I see what it is, and it's like I'm putting together a puzzle in my mind. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going for.
modern, bold, graphic, and a side of sports. Matthew focuses the majority of his prints on highlighting our Ohio teams and experimenting with a contemporary look not traditionally seen.
I'm chasing a look that I don't know if I'll ever get, but that's part of what art is. So most of the time, I'm happy with the end result. There's always things, even in the digital work that I've done, there's always things that I wouldn't want to change after the fact.
Printmaking is all about the layering, and one print can take as long as 10 to 15 hours. And it's that time and texture that really makes each individual piece uniquely beautiful.
All art, printmaking included, is the passion and the creativity of the artist, and it does take a lot of effort. There are ways to get nice images faster and easier, but artists in general really love what they're doing. And when you see something at an art show and you really like it, you should appreciate the artist, and you don't have to buy it, but you should say, I really love this, and I really appreciate what you're doing, because that feedback helps an artist.
Coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, we shoot for the stars at an adorable spot in Norwood. We'll take you to the Drake Planetarium to discover all the wonders this hidden gem has to offer. And then, have you heard the phrase, keep the ball rolling? Well, I bet you didn't know a Cincinnati man coined it. We'll tell you more about the life and legacy of William Henry Harrison. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Do you love getting lost in the night sky or dreamt of taking a trip to the moon? Well, Drake Planetarium is here for you to explore your curiosity about astronomy, and we took a trip to find out more. The outside of Norwood High School looks pretty average. But inside lives a unique, rare educational experience for students across the tri-state. It's Drake Planetarium, a 30-foot hand-plastered dome theater surrounded by 70 seats that immerses you into the night sky by means of innovative video productions. It's only one of few plastered domes left in the U.S. But you may also be wondering, how did it even get there?
It's a little unusual, and a lot of these planetariums have closed across the country, but we had a visionary for a superintendent who decided that he wanted to build a planetarium inside of the high school when the building was built, and that was Bill Pace. So as time went on, situations changed, economics changed, and a group of interested citizens and school districts decided that they wanted to have this facility available to all other schools so that anybody could come in from the general public. In order to do that, we had to form a nonprofit foundation, and that is the same foundation that runs this facility, plus a lot of other activities throughout the greater Cincinnati area.
Drake Planetarium's mission is to provide cutting-edge technology and STEM experiences for children pre-K to grade 12, along with the general public. They have over 30 crafted STEM programs covering topics such as the planetarium, engineering, robotics, and more. And they really focus on being hands-on. However, the best part is many of these programs are mobile and they'll come to you.
And we take the moonscapes and the Marscapes into the classrooms and into the gyms with our portable planetarium. And it's an overall learning experience where kids learn about topography, geology, the entire Artemis project, what's going on with the Artemis project, which of course is the moon project that's coming up in 2024. And so we take the science to them so that they get a current events, and they can also interact with a lot of our online scientists from NASA. By doing the hands-on, it really creates a good base for them retaining the information and then using the information for something else.
Oh, that's exciting.
Very cool. And if you'd like to take a trip to the Drake Planetarium, it's on the 4th floor of Norwood High School on Sherman Avenue. And you can find out more about their hours and events online at drakeplanetarium.org. Mona?
Thanks, Allie. Well, as the publisher and journalist Marcus Garvey once said, people without knowledge of their past history, origin, or culture are like a tree without roots. Well, today we want to grow that tree of knowledge and tell you about a tri-state local and former president of the United States who changed the look of political campaigns forever. This is the story of William Henry Harrison.
William Henry Harrison, 9th President of the United States, was born into wealth and into one of the best Virginia families. In fact, his father, Benjamin V, was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. His military career sent him into famous conflicts such as the Battle of the Thames, Fallen Timbers, and Tippecanoe. Harrison biographer Gail Collins summed him up well when she wrote, among his generation, he had an unusual combination of Eastern gentility and Western toughness. That combination got the attention of a local woman, Anna Sims, whom he later married. In 1797, Harrison purchased land and a log cabin in North Bend, Ohio, from his father-in-law, Colonel John Cleves Sims, who was famous in his own right for the Miami Purchase and as a leader of the Cincinnati settlers. The campaign that carried Harrison from Ohio to the White House is recognized as the first modern political campaign, and it's humorous to note that the whole thing was really tipped off by a potshot at Harrison. A Democratic newspaper practically handed over the presidency when it wrote, "Give him a barrel of hard cider and settle a pension of $2,000 a year on him, and take my word for it, he'll sit the remainder of his days in his log cabin." Well, that may sound like a slam, but in 1840, many more people were able to cast a vote than in elections past. And many Americans could identify with the image of Harrison painted by the Democrats. But this campaign is also famous because that image of Harrison wasn't exactly accurate. We already mentioned the born into wealth bit, but even the so-called log cabin that he lived in had since been remodeled into a big frame house, and by 1840 it had 22 rooms. Regardless, the Whig Party had a golden opportunity to make their candidate likable and quickly branded Harrison as a man of the people and renamed him Old Tippecanoe after the battle. In his book, The Carnival Campaign, author Ronald Schaefer wrote that the 1840 race introduced the first image advertising campaign for a presidential candidate and marked the beginning of presidential campaigning as entertainment. Indeed, Harrison's image grew to folk hero proportions, and from then on, the Whigs had the ball, literally. The campaign ball was a large three-dimensional ball made of everything from tin or paper to cowhide, which served as a rolling billboard of sorts. According to Collins, the Whigs in Cleveland made one 12 feet wide and rolled it all the way to Columbus in Harrison's honor. The playful ploy even produced the familiar phrase, "keep the ball rolling." Songs were written, the lively Tippecanoe Quickstep was danced at Harrison hoedowns, and a plethora of products were introduced for public consumption. In a revolutionary move, Harrison became the first U.S. presidential candidate to make speeches on his own behalf. Collins wrote that he was wounded by claims that he was too old and feeble for the job of president, adding that his speech-making was partly an attempt to demonstrate his fitness. However, those efforts would further underscore the irony of the campaign's outcome. Of his many claims to fame, Harrison is widely remembered for the length of his term, only 31 days. On the rainy day of his inauguration, Harrison gave a speech nearly 2 hours in length, without wearing an overcoat. A month later, he died, with the reported cause of death, pneumonia. Despite the fact that his presidency ended before it began, Harrison's long life leading up to the election gave him a fixed place in our history. Stories for you to watch again and again and again. So like and follow us now at facebook.com Cincy Lifestyle. Stick around.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Caught us by surprise, but Happy New Year again.
We're going to be better
2020
next
just
year.
snuck up on us.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. But that's what we said when? Last year.
And that's why we have a blooper reel.
Yeah, oh boy. Coming up here tomorrow on Cincy Lifestyle, we're going to head to Mason Intermediate School, where we learn more about a program that partners with world-class performers to bring mindful music into the classroom.
Plus, we solved the great pizza debate. You know,
Dun, dun, dun.
deep dish, thin crust, Napoli style. We head to Joe's Pizza, Napoli, to take a bite out of this issue. All this, so much more happening. They're laughing at me because I messed that up. But anyway.
Thick or thin crust?
Thin.
Ooh.
Thin all the way.
Ooh. Normally thin, but sometimes every once in a while, a good cheesy crust. Thick. Every once in a while.
That's what's known as straddling both sides of the issue.
I'm super indecisive when it comes to having to decide where I want to eat and what I want to eat. Yeah.
I like the thin because then you can taste the topping of the pizza. I don't want too much bread.
Okay. All right.
But if it's wood fired, at like Joe's Pizza Napoli, oh, it's so good. It is. So
Is it?
You'll find out.
You guys do the tradition, black-eyed peas, greens.
We
some
did
kind of-
until my parents died.
Okay.
And then, but up until then, yes, it was black-eyed peas, sausage, and sauerkraut.
Yeah.
And we had cornbread. We had all traditional, our families, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day dinner.
Do ham.
Well, I think it has to be some pork.
Yeah.
I think it has to
yes.
be pork, so it could be sausage.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. my mom makes
According
ham.
to the tradition.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Really good. I have not carried on that tradition.
You know what? I'm so surprised.
You do
I'm so
you
surprised.
like greens though. You make some mean
I
greens.
love greens. In fact, I make greens. I made them for Christmas. So.
There we go.
Okay, you
there
all
we
have.
go.
All right, I'm bringing some in for you.
Okay.
That's I'm gonna make some and bring them in for you.
So that very day, there's no show because none of us are here. You know what's going to have happened the
Food
day
poisoning.
before. Exactly right. Exactly.
We will be out.
That's right. What are you doing tonight?
Probably, Sloaney at LW laughs at me because I don't do much of anything, but I'm not going to do much of anything. Yeah. I've always thought of New Year's Eve as a reflective time, and that's kind of what I'm looking for.
That's good.
Yeah.
Plans,
Probably
Allie?
just watching Harry Potter.
Okay.
Honestly, that's what I've done for the last 2.
I thought I had a boring New Year's Eve. Wow.
By the time New Year's Eve rolls around, I'm partied out.
Okay, and you?
I'm staying home being as boring as the two of you.
Oh, my God. All right, that's Cincy Lifestyle for this New Year's Eve. Thanks for watching our video. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And to make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun, click the bell icon to be notified about any new videos. And don't forget to make it a great day.